is the top of the seventh in Game 3 against the Brewers in the Red Sox Fenway opening series here for 2014. And the Red Sox are trying to avoid getting swept. Now, before the season, I had actually predicted, and this is kind of a common prediction of mine, I picked the Brewers as kind of a surprise team out of the National League. I always think that they're not given enough credit, and for the past few years they've kind of fallen short, but again, I kind of went with the Brewers. You know, they got a decent pitching staff, they've got decent hitters, some of them younger, some of them veterans, so I have no problem with the Brewers doing well, except for Ryan Braun, but that doesn't mean they have to take it out on my Red Sox. They've won both games, the first one because of a Red Sox bullpen meltdown in the ninth, and then the next one, Buckholtz gave them almost no chance to win the game, and yet they still tied it and lost in extra innings. So it's 2-0 right now, not too bad. And John Lester has settled down after a rough beginning to the game. He's gone 6 innings so far. He's pitching the 7th. He only has 75 pitches. His control hasn't been the issue. Of course, I say that as he goes 2-1 to this hitter here. I would know who the hitter was if I was paying more attention. But of course, hard to do both, commentate and announce. Jonathan Lucroy is the hitter. He's had a pretty good series, batting .381 on the season. Of course, what do those numbers mean at this point? Not too much. So let's see here. Red Sox trying to salvage the last game of this set against the Brewers. The Red Sox last year did not lose more than 3 games in a row. If they lose this one, they would lose 3. But last year's Red Sox never lost 4 games in an entire 162-game stretch. They only lost 2 in a row in the postseason a couple times. So, again, nothing to worry about yet. It's still early in the season. The Red Sox are sitting at 2-3, I believe, or 2-2. Shows how much I know. No, they're 2-3. They lost 2 games to the Brewers so far. So, a ground ball to the third baseman, Herrera, fields it to first, and we have 1 out. Herrera taking over for Middlebrooks, who suffered a calf injury yesterday. I don't know if it was a lingering thing or it just got worse, but Middlebrooks expected to miss a couple weeks here. He's on the 15-day DL. Hopefully nothing too major. And Herrera doing a decent job filling in. So, again, the offense has been stymied today, obviously. They put up 6 runs yesterday. This is a team that can hit, the Red Sox, and they can also pitch. For the most part, with the exception of yesterday, their starting pitching has kept them in every game. They've only given up a few runs a game. Just yesterday, Buckholtz giving up 6 runs. That was a bit unexpected. Hopefully he's ready to go against the Yankees, because that's his next start. That was a strike. The umpire called it a ball. It was just in the corner of the strike zone. Very close call. Lester seems to not get a lot of those calls. And then he gets a little angry when he doesn't, and I don't really blame him. But anyway, 1-0 the count to the hitter. I apologize, I'm not very good at this. It's 1-1 now. I know it's not Lucroy anymore because he made the out. I believe it's Davis, Chris Davis. Another Chris Davis after they played the Orioles and their Chris Davis. How funny is that? Alright, it's not that funny. John Lester with the 1-1 pitch, 1 out. And that is hit pretty solidly into the gap. That will probably be a double off the wall. Bradley gets to it, throws it back in. Nice throw, but he will be safe. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, what a close play. Pedroia thought he had him. I wasn't too sure. That really took me by surprise that play was that close. Bradley has a good arm. Got to give him that much. So that is a close play. I doubt they'll challenge it. I don't know if they can. I think they can because it's the 7th inning now. Well, let's just see. Let's watch it again. They're not really going to give us a choice. We got to watch it again. Bradley throwing the ball. Better shot this time. Ooh, Pedroia might have had him there. Ooh, after that call, you can instantly see Pedroia going, oh! Man, that is like split-second stuff. I don't know if it's because the runner was sliding. Like, it usually looks like the runner gets there first. Maybe because he's sliding, whereas the guy tagging him is just standing still. So the human eye kind of sees one person moving, one person standing still, just moving their arms. And it looks like, well, he got at least a foot on the bag, so he's not going to be out. Still, would have been nice to have that one, but it was a good hit. There's nothing cheap about that one, out to the green monster, and Bradley doing a good job trying to get him out, just barely missed him. So John Farrell watches on as Lester goes 1-0 to the next batter. Like I mentioned, as long as anyone but Ryan Braun beats him, because I don't think anyone likes Ryan Braun too much. I don't think I'm going out on a limb here to kind of, discredit Ryan Braun. But anyway, I digress. Ross and Lester trying to get on the same page here as they've gone 2-0 on the hitter whose name they just showed and I can't remember it. God, getting old. Last season I was all over this, but this is early in the season, I can't even get as mad at the umpires as I will later on. And I will get mad at them. But right now I'm just trying to hope the Red Sox can win this game. They're only losing by 2. Mark Reynolds, that's who the batter is. They just showed it to. That's a ball. Ball 3. 3-0. This is kind of weird. I mean, not weird. It's actually kind of expected. This is usually the part of the game where if Lester is going to have control issues, he'll have them at the worst possible time, like the 7th inning. So, he was pretty effective for about 4 or 5 innings of this game, not counting the 2 runs. And now he walks Reynolds on 4 pitches, and you gotta hope someone's at least warming up in that Sox bullpen. You gotta hope. Because he might not be ready to come out just yet, but if he gives up another hit or gets into more trouble, let's not wait until this becomes a 4 or 5 run game. Right now, 2 runs seems manageable, even though the Red Sox haven't done much at the plate. But more than that, I don't know. The Milwaukee starter's been very solid. Giardo is his last name. I do not remember his first name. Lyle Overbay, 0 for 2 today. Former Red Sox player for about 5 minutes last year when he was on the spring training squad. I believe he ended up going to the Yankees, and this year with the Brewers. So Lyle Overbay's been bounced around a lot, but he's a decent player. I don't know why the Red Sox didn't give him more of a chance. That ball was outside and called a strike. So here we go. Lyle Overbay, 0 for 2, but you worry about a hitter like him going 0 for 2 in the later part of the game. Maybe he looks bad in the first few innings, but all it takes is a double or triple right here, and, Red Sox are in some trouble. All right, 0-2. See if they can ring him up again. It's still 0-2. Lester's sitting on 87 pitches, starting to get into that sensitive area where you think about taking him out. My guess is, whether he gets out of this inning successfully or not, this is Lester's last inning, the 7th, which is very respectable. If he can go 7 innings and only allow the 2 runs, he's done his job. He's put the Red Sox in a position to win. Ooh, that same pitch was called a strike earlier in the at-bat. Can't talk. But this time it's called a ball. That first pitch that was called a strike was outside, so that's the only reason why I kind of scratch my head at that. If the ball's outside, it should be outside. If it's, outside the strike zone, it should be a ball. It's not really rocket science. But anyway. 1-2, that one looked even closer. That was still outside, but again, the first one was a strike. The last 2 have been called balls. So the count is 2-2. Lester kind of getting himself set up. Lester has impressed me, I will admit, over the last couple of years. I was never a big Lester guy, even when he first came up. I know the cancer sidelined him for a year, obviously. That's understandable. Then he threw the no-hitter in 2008. Had some flashes of brilliance in 2009, 2010, but after that, I still wasn't really sold on him. He has a lot of control issues, or at least he used to. He used to not go long in the games because of that. He would give up maybe 1 or 2 runs, but he'd only go 5 innings, and then the bullpen's sitting there going, well, what are we going to do now? But now he's able to go longer into the games. He was a force in the postseason last year. Probably going to get a big contract extension, so he's really made me eat my words, because even for the majority of his career he's been effective. It's just been 1 or 2 years where he's kind of struggled. That was a really close pitch. 3-2, though. The longer these counts go, the more nervous I get. The Brewers, though, I've seen them take a lot of different approaches to hitting. They either work the count or they just swing at the first pitch, and they've actually had more success when they swing early on. Red Sox pitching usually gets them in these 3-2 situations. And it looks like they popped him up. I don't know if it's in play. Doesn't look like it. So the at-bat will continue. Lyle Overbay played many years with the Blue Jays. That's where he did the most of his damage against the Red Sox. I think they showed earlier he has something like 12 or 13 career home runs against the Red Sox. That's a lot of home runs to have against one team. Especially when it's only in like 30 games. That's like a home run every other game. Red Sox certainly hoping they can, sit him down right now. This has been a 7-pitch at-bat, going on 8 right now. 1 out still in the inning. Hopefully get a double play or something here. And he swings and misses, no doubt about that one. Strikeout for Lester. I don't know how many he has in the game, but he's gotten his fair share. Good thing about Lester is that, even though he does have that cutter and he tries to induce ground balls, he can get a strikeout because he has such good velocity on the fastball. So, because of that, he might not necessarily have to get a double play ball. He can go for the strikeout to get himself out of trouble. As we see the Fenway faithful passing the K's on down, that it was his 6th strikeout of the day, so now I know. And now you know. And I realize this is, just one of many regular season games, but I just enjoy doing this kind of live broadcast feel. Makes it more exciting for me, at least. Hopefully more exciting for you. Even if you've probably already watched the game, you're like, what's the point of this guy? I already know who wins the game. But, I try to do this as live as possible, and this is live. Red Sox are playing this game right now. It's in progress. I don't know how it'll end. Hopefully with a walk-off win, that'd be awesome. But we'll see. John Farrell with confidence in his Red Sox ace. I mean, what other choice does he have? Again, I don't know if anyone's warming in the bullpen. I would definitely have somebody ready to go because Lester's up to 94 pitches, and, you know, just as it is as much possible that he gets through this inning as he gets blown up this inning. So just keep that in mind as Wally the Green Monster cheers on in anticipation there, keeping the crowd kind of in it, entertained at the very least. These games are always thrilling. I mean, I had the pleasure of going to one live. Even when the Red Sox are losing, it's like, wow. All right, Ross looks like he's going to have another conversation, or no, he's just going to throw the ball back. Baseball is always kind of a game of chess. It's like, am I going to move this piece? No. Am I going to move this way? Okay. Now, Ross decides to have a conversation with Lester, so he's telling him to throw better pitches, throw something in the strike zone, but not too much in the strike zone. Throw something good, though, but not too good. All right, you got it? Okay, I'm going to go back and catch now. That's just my paraphrasing. That might not be what he said. But, you know, who wants to hear the real analyst talk about that? Rather hear me talk about it. A guy who gets over-emotional about sports, but God, do I pay attention. And so does John Farrell. 2-1 the count. And he grounds it through the infield. Oh boy, they're going to wave him around? I'm surprised they're waving him around. Close play at the plate. He's safe. And the Brewers take a 3-0 lead. Oh, that happened really quick. That ground ball was not exactly hammered, and I think that's why the runner took a chance there. If that had been a faster ground ball and Gomes had it quickly, we might not be looking at this 3-0 situation. So Davis comes in to score on the base hit. See Herrera just a little too slow to get to it. At that point, you know, I think Gomes should have been charging that a little bit faster. He makes an okay throw. I think if he had made it sooner, they would have had a chance to line up a play at the plate. I mean, the power was there, but his aim was just way too off. Ross was not going to be able to get to the runner at that point. I think they were caught off guard, but again, by the Brewers' aggressive base running. And, you know, can't take it away from them. The Brewers have played a solid 3 games at Fenway right now, in position to sweep the Sox at home. And that, what is going on here? Seriously? What is going on here? Was that a foul ball or a wild pitch? God, I hate the umpires. Either way, that guy was out. I mean, if you're going to play that whole sequence through, then the base runner should be out because he got tagged before he got to the plate. Like, what the hell was I just watching? I don't know how well the TV comes in here, but basically it looked like a foul ball off of Ross's foot, but then everybody started scrambling as if the ball was live, as if it were a wild pitch or a passed ball, and the Brewers just kind of traipsed around the bases like they were going to score with ease. The guy still got tagged out at home. Here it is again. Okay, so he doesn't make contact with it, but the ball hits the batter's foot. So even if you want to make a case that the batter got hit by the pitch, which I think is more possible, then Gomez should be on first. I don't understand this. He swung and missed the pitch. Then it hits his foot. It goes way over into the corners. I think the inning should be over, honestly, if they're going to play it out that way. I think the runner got tagged out on his way to home. What just happened here? Somebody let me know. Still 3-0. Okay, I don't know. They must have just called that one back. I don't know what they were thinking with that throw, but I'm glad it didn't go into right field. My God, Red Sox. This is ridiculous. I don't blame them for the craziness there, but this was like a clear double steal. They try to pick him off at first, and the runner takes third easily. I don't know what they're doing, wasting their time over there. I mean, how many balls did they throw away in the postseason? Like 8? They're making a risky throw to first base with a runner on second who just gets right to third. I mean, as soon as that throw goes over there, the runner at second's going right to third. I'd be more worried about him than the guy at first. So now Reynolds is on third. Gomez stays on first after a close pickoff play, which was surprisingly close. So again, the Brewers taking every opportunity here to get in the Red Sox heads, even with that weird passed ball nonsense that got called back. I mean, that was just absurd. The Brewers are just walking around the bases like, yeah, we're going to score like 8 runs now. Oh, a bunt! They go to first for the out that ends the inning. That was a risky play. I'm still afraid something would happen there. So Brewers do get the third run. It's 3-0, and I will be back with more, hopefully, if the Red Sox can pull this one out.